Today on the farm, we're in a very special place. I don't share this place with very many people, but I decided to put it on YouTube because it's such a special place. But we're on a old Indian trail. The Indians that were here back in the 1830s and before were the Lower Creek Indians. And not far from here was a major trail called Okfuskee that went from here over into Alabama. But this is a small trail on my farm going along a creek, and the way I know it's a trail is because I've got an Indian pointing tree that's been certified as a pointing tree, and it's very unique because it has 3 branches and a pointing nose, and I've been told by the experts that means that there's 3 Indians buried here. But what's so special about this trail is how serene it is, and it's a lot of unusual things have gone on here over the years. I spent about the whole month of July several years ago putting up this barbed wire fence that actually touches the pointing tree, and owls will be hooting all day long during the day. And one day I brought a friend of mine down here to look at the tree, and a squirrel literally ran between our legs and jumped up on the tree and started barking at us just a very few feet away. Another day I was riding by in my side-by-side, and it was a steady stream of seeds dropping out of the tree, the little whirlybird seeds, but it was in one straight line, and it just kept going for probably a full minute, just a narrow straight line. And I said, this can't be true. It's like somebody was up there pouring water out of a jug. But yeah, it's very serene down here, very spiritual feeling when you're down here by yourself. But let me show you what the tree looks like. This is the barbed wire fence that runs along the creek, and the creek runs along here, and it has a lot of native azaleas in the springtime growing along this creek. Okay, this is a pointing tree, and you see how massive the trunk is. So it's old enough to be back in the 1830s, but I'm sure this video doesn't do it justice. But you can see how tall it is. But if you're not familiar with Indian pointing trees, they put them along the trails to point to like directions for like good spring water or going to a certain location, and they would bend a sapling over and strap it to the ground. And most of them do not have the 3 branches like this. Most of them just have maybe 1 branch or none. But you see, this is what they call the nose of it, and somehow they cut it off and terminated it. But according to the experts, I said, well, where are the Indians buried? And he said, it's pointing right to it. So I assume right along here is where the 3 Indians are buried. And going on up the creek here, you see the other side, there's some interesting trees. There's one over across there with the hole in the bottom, but up here is a real interesting tree. And they had what they call a cache, C-A-C-H-E tree where they would leave grinding stones or maybe some supplies, so when they came back along later or someone else came along, they could find it on the trail. And this is possibly one right here. It's full of spider webs right now, but that's a massive tree, and it had a real deep hole in there. But look at this tree. I don't know if this is a freak of nature or it was something created by a person, but it is a tremendous tree, and it's hollowed out, and we've had plenty of high winds through here, and this continues to stand. It has not blown over, but I'm simply amazed with that tree because some of the limbs are big as a tree. And a lot of times when I ride down through here, which I do every 2 or 3 days, checking my fence lines, I'll see deer, and usually they just stand and watch me ride by. They're not spooked, but there's some really nice big bucks in here, a lot of does. But okay, I thank y'all for coming along today to watch, and I hope y'all have a blessed day.